Remember one thing, guys, it is the state that is the issue. Remember, while we're fighting amongst each other the way the media wants us to do it, we are currently being told that we are supposed to stay inside of our homes. We are currently being told we're not supposed to go to work, that we're supposed to wear masks. This is America. We're free people. We don't do that kind of stuff. That's the tyranny we should be fighting back against as a whole. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to North Country Off Grid. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chad. Lots of new people in this strange time in the world, guys. We're making some headlines up here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, going nationwide with what people are seeing up here. So today we're kind of talking about sort of the racist paradigms that are taking place, the narrative that media is pushing, and the visuals that you're seeing out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, because they're not quite matching up with the narrative that the media is pushing. It's a big deal. We also are going to talk about and address some issues right here on the channel. Many of you guys who are trying to stick me in some kind of a box for you, and not all of you guys, all right? Don't go getting all defensive. But some of you guys want to try and stick me in the box with both my views and opinions on this, as well as our actions downtown in Coeur d'Alene. So we're just going to set the record straight. And for those of you who want to cry about it and leave, that's your option. And for those of you who need clarification, we're happy to help out. But one thing we're not going to tolerate is being called racist. I mean, I guess I will tolerate it because we don't really ban anyone from this channel. But we're going to clarify it, so at least the ignorant people out there can get a little bit more background on our opinion here. We'll just address it straight out. Alright, guys, so obviously you guys have heard me state opinions about pushing back against government, making sure that you are not dealing with tyrannical government. And there's ways of going about that stuff, and there's ways that we don't condone going about that stuff. But many of you guys have felt that because I say, yeah, push back against the government, question government, right, fight against government, many of you guys assume that I hate cops. I'm not a cop hater as a group, okay, as a specific person, and then this is going to go down the line with everybody. I do not care what color you are. I don't care what flag you wave, okay? I will judge you by the content of your character, not by the color of your uniform or your flag or your skin. It does not matter to me. Everyone's going to get a fair shake in my eyes, and I will let your character determine whether or not I like you. But what you will not see from me is you will not see a generalization of support towards any one group. I do not and will not ever wave a back the blue line flag, and I will not and do not wave a BLM flag, if they've got one, their movement, okay? Someone had asked me, do you support the BLM movement? As a organization, we were not down there to support anybody. We were not there to protest or to counter protest. We were there as a neutral party. We are there as an organization to protect the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States says all men are created equal, for one. Two, it allows us to peacefully protest. It allows us our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, Bill of Rights, right? It allows us all of these freedoms, and that's what we are down there to protect. Whether you're black, white, purple, blue, it doesn't matter to us. It's about rights and freedoms, okay? All lives matter. To me as a person, I'm speaking of me as a person. I'm not speaking of Real 3%ers of Idaho group, okay? Their stance on what we went and did was just that. We're down to protect the Constitution, that's it. We're not there to protest, counter-protest, period. Me as a person, I cannot say that I support the Black Lives Matter movement when I see BLM spray painted across the Lincoln Memorial, when I see BLM spray painted on the World War II Memorial, the Vietnam Memorial. I will not watch my history, our history, be desecrated by people and support it. I won't do it. I also will not stand up and support blue lives, backing cops who are shooting people in the face with tear gas canisters at point blank range, who are macing people who are just trying to talk to them. I will never support the actions of a cop who pushes down what looks to be like a 70-year-old man and cracks his skull open. I will not ever support any group who kneels on the neck of any person, whether it be of color, lack of color, whatever, and kills them while staring into a camera. What we need to understand, guys, is the media and some of you guys want to try and put everyone into boxes, right? What we saw down in Coeur d'Alene was that the narrative that they were trying to spin was that the militia groups, right, because we're white and have guns, we're now militia, right? Some people there are militia members, some people there were 3% members, some people were just out to protect their neighborhood, and that's it. They're not even in a group, right? But we all get lumped together, and because we're white, we're now all white supremacists, and we're all racist, right? Except check out this image, guys. The guy on the right he's my guy. Maybe your guys is the white guy. The white guy was my guy, okay? He was with us all night, all weekend down there. That looked like racism to you? Those guys sat and talked. We had to stop the entire parade so those guys could sit and talk for a bit. I had actually talked to that guy about his gun earlier in the night. The media tried to report that there was a bunch of people down there, a bunch of patriots down there hollering, I think they're hollering white power, is what they were saying. I forget what the news was. I wasn't down there 100% of the time all week. I was down there all week. Me and my guys were down there all week, right? We never once heard anyone chanting any racial anything. So I don't know where the media got that. I would like them to provide proof of it if it did happen. But what I can tell you is, at the minimum, assuming that did happen, 99% of the people down there that were armed in white didn't care about skin color. Weren't there to counter protest. They weren't there to make BLM feel uncomfortable. The guys that went down there armed were down there because Spokane was burning the weekend before, and they were breaking the windows, and they were rioting in Spokane, which made Coeur d'Alene the next likely target. Those guys were down there so that Coeur d'Alene didn't burn, so that Coeur d'Alene glass stayed intact. And I can tell you guys that aside from what the liberal media has to say with their racist opinions, I talked to many shopkeepers down there. They were grateful that we were there. One woman, they were not going to stay down there and protect their business. They were older, okay? She was very grateful at the fact that we were going to be there. When I told her, don't worry about your business, we're going to keep an eye on it all night, it looked like she was starting to cry. And she kind of said thank you and like moved away quietly. Her husband came up and said, hey, she really appreciates that. Thank you guys for what you're doing. This is the message we have gotten from the shopkeepers all up and down the street. There was only one guy who didn't want us there. I don't know what his problem was. I do know he's from California, telling all of us to get out of his town, which is kind of funny. But there was only one shopkeeper that was vocal about us not being there, calling us terrorists and calling us racists because we were walking around with guns. Some people are just very scared of guns. If you're from this area, you just grow up with them. People carrying them is not a big deal. And even if they're the big ones, it's not a big deal. So we're starting now to see a lot of the media and a lot of the liberal groups around here trying to come out and attack us for our actions of going down there and exercising our Second Amendment rights, right? I think that anytime you're sitting here saying, oh, respect their First Amendment, but I don't respect your Second Amendment, we've got an issue with that. And those people have an agenda. And that agenda is to take freedom. And if you ever think you're going to keep your First Amendment without keeping your Second Amendment, you are out of your mind, guys. Okay? In the states that you've seen, the cities that are burning, many of those have disarmed their people. They've made it illegal for their people to do what we do up here in Idaho. And one thing you didn't see in Idaho is you didn't see buildings burn and you didn't see glass break. And there is a reason for that. And it's because an armed society is a polite society. Now, whether or not you believe that or not, the proof is in the pudding. Idaho stays intact, right? Idaho remains intact. And there's a reason for that, and it's because of the show of force. It is because the amount of guns, and it is because of the people that are wielding it. No matter what the media tries to say or how they try to paint us, guys, the images of Coeur d'Alene will remain in history forever, and you will see black people and white people marching together, and you will know that if you check the 911 logs for the first night when everybody was armed, there wasn't a single call for law enforcement to respond to. Not one. Not an act of violence, not an act of intimidation. There was no mishaps with firearms. Literally hundreds of firearms walking the streets. Not a single mishap. So addressing the people here on the video who wanted me to either be a cop hater or a racist, sorry guys, I don't fit into your box, okay? I have friends that are in law enforcement. That doesn't mean that I back your entire group, okay? We made some friends down there in the BLM, right? Some great people just trying to get their message across, okay? Just because I don't support your message or I don't support your group or whatever it is you're doing nationwide, doesn't mean I'm a racist either, okay? I get to be what I want to be, right? Let me identify as the person I want to identify as, and that is not a cop hater nor a cop lover. That is not a BLM hater nor a BLM lover, okay? I support everybody who wants their First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, all of your rights intact, okay? That is what we support. And as an individual, if I like you based off of your character, then I like you based off your character, and that is it. But don't try to lump people in, okay? We actually, myself, I was verbally attacked on a live stream. You guys can go and see it, right? And I say verbally attacked. I was not in fear for my life. However, the woman asked if I supported BLM movement. I did not support the BLM movement because I believe there's a lot of vandalization that is coming with it. And I could be wrong, but I believe they're communists. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know. But I don't support the burning of businesses. I don't support the assaults of people in the streets. I don't support fires. I don't support the monuments getting destroyed. You know, those monuments are very important to many of us because many of us have had our families fight in those wars, whether you agree with it or not. So to destroy it, your message is lost on people like that who have something invested in those monuments. You can't just call us racist and then destroy those monuments and expect people to care. It's not the way to go about it. Now, when they went after the Minneapolis Police Department and they burned it down, there's some sympathy there. Although you're breaking the law and you're burning it down, your message is a little more direct. They killed someone in your community, you burnt down their building. Illegal? Yes. Civil disobedience? You kind of escalated it, but that is a point that is understood. When you go and burn down the ma and pa shop down the road, break their glass and steal all their stuff, your message is lost 100%, and you're not going to get sympathy from people. So upon me letting her know that I don't support, I'm not out there to support anything, she just then accused us of wanting to show off our big guns. The ironic thing about it is I was not carrying a long gun that night. I only carried a handgun and a can of spray, a can of bear mace, right? And the point of that was because if people were going to come in and break glass, bear spray is your best tool, right? That's going to stop people from trying to loot shops. I mean, you be the judge, right? You guys are welcome to carry whatever weapon you want. I chose to carry bear mace and my handgun. But it just goes to show, like, people like her, and I don't even know if she's from this city or if she's just a tourist in the city with her big opinion. But she's the one with the hate. She's the one with the racism. She's the one trying to put people in boxes and classify them what fits her narrative, okay? You don't need to support anything to be anything. Just because someone doesn't support your cause doesn't mean they're against your cause, okay? That's a big distinction that we need to make. So I hope that clarifies things for some of you guys. I know that I know that throughout this week it's been pretty crazy, but many people have accused us of being racist here, or being cop haters, or whatever, you know, and the name calling doesn't bother me. There's a lot of ignorant people in the world. Believe me, I see it in the comments every single day. Guys, don't try to put people in boxes. Get out and understand what people's points are and stuff, and don't add to it. And remember one thing, guys, it is the state that is the issue. Remember, while we're fighting amongst each other the way the media wants us to do it, we are currently being told that we are supposed to stay inside of our homes. We are currently being told we're not supposed to go to work, that we're supposed to wear masks. This is America. We're free people. We don't do that kind of stuff. That's the tyranny we should be fighting back against as a whole. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.